Welcome to another Saturday night and taking it to the nub. I'm your host, Boston Jimmy, and tonight I've got a guest on that, man, we go way back. This man has created some amazing events. He's got his own media channel. He's got his own magazine. Many of you know him. His name is Kennedy Akir, but most people know him as TK Aficionado. And we're going to be bringing TK in just a moment. And believe me, this is, I can't wait to sit down and talk to him because we've been on and off together having conversation over the years. But man, he has been doing some wild stuff lately. And I just want to get caught up and I want to catch everybody else up to it too. So with that, let us do a little commercial break here to get the show rolling, and then we'll bring TK right back in.
Is brought to you by Casa Cuevas Cigars. In the 19th century, Juan Cuevas, Spanish immigrant from Santander, began what was to be a family business which now spans 4 generations. Like others fortunate enough to live and work in Pinar del Rio province of Cuba, Juan commenced cultivating tobacco, turning it into a successful business. Years later, in the Ciabo Valley of the Dominican Republic, Luis Cuevas Sr., Juan Jr.'s son, carried on the family tradition of handcrafting fine cigars in the family's cigar factory, Tabacalera Las Lavas. Today, Luis Sr. is joined by his son Luis Jr. in the manufacturing and sale premium long filler cigars. So check out Casa Cuevas Cigars at www.casacuevascigars.com and on their Instagram and Facebook channels.
Catelli Cigars is back. The past few years brought many questions and changes to the cigar industry. In the wake of all uncertainty, Catelli Cigars decided to take a break and try their hand in the retail side of cigars. With 2 shops under their belt, first Riverside Cigar Bar, and now the Catelli Cigar Lounge in Vero Beach, Florida, they are now more educated in the retail and the wholesale sides of the cigar business. During this time, they received many inquiries about their cigars returning to the market. Making the difficult decision to take a break from their brand was eased knowing that when the time was right, Catelli would be back, and now they are. Catelli is excited to bring their first release, the Catelli Box Air, back to market. The Box Air, a rich box-pressed San Andreas Mexican Maduro with a Nicaraguan binder and filler, come in Box Air's 3 original sizes, Robusto, Toro, and Gordo. You can check out Catelli Cigars at catellicigars.com. All right. Let's bring TK in. Think he's on the road traveling up from Key West, Florida. TK, my brother, how are you?
Boston Jimmy, the one and only, the legend himself.
Bro, man, we're together on this. How's the drive going so far?
Coming back to Miami. It's very smooth.
That's
Very
good.
smooth.
And
Wish
I'm
I
going
had
to tell
my
you, yeah. You were saying?
I said I wish I had my fishing pole.
Oh, well, how long you were down there for?
Just a day.
Oh, okay. Well, you got an easy thing. You guys in Miami have it made. For me, I have to go another 4 hours to Miami, then to Key West. So, yeah, tough,
Up and
tough ride. Easy ride once you're in the Keys, though, because you just look at the beautiful water. You don't speed. You let these idiots that want to speed through there. It's like, no, no, just take it easy. You're in the Florida Keys, man. Turn on some Jimmy Buffett and slow down. Smoke a
there it
cigar.
is.
Enjoy life.
And we just said that. We just said that in the car.
Speaking of drives, I don't know if you're paying attention to the Miami Canes. Okay, sorry for the loudness, but I'm super excited. I think the last time I looked, we're up 41-17 with just a few minutes left in the kickoff seasonal game for 2024 season against the Gators. Sorry, guys, you Gator fans. Well, they weren't ranked anyway. At least we were ranked 19th.
And we're going
But
up in the bowl. Going up. We're going up.
we don't have as tough a schedule. That's always the issue in my book, is we got to get into tougher games to really ratchet up those rankings as the season goes on. I mean, we run the card, the new game, and whoever's the champion in the conference, they've expanded playoffs, so now you get a berth to a playoff in that level. But still, we whooped them. That's the highest score ever on opening day from an opposing team in the swamp. We just set a record today
Against an SEC school.
against an SEC school. Anyway, I figured I'd throw it out there. I'm great for causing all kinds of disturbances on the internet these days. So why not? We'll just start with football. So you and I, we go way back, and
Before the beard. Before the beard.
before whose beard? Before your beard. Yeah, you
Before my
kept
beard.
growing that. I kept shaving mine. So there, I mean, I got to know you a lot especially during Black Smoke
Yeah,
Miami.
yeah.
Right. And I'm going to do one thing here because I just got my camera here just seemed to glitch to
Hello?
go dull. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to
Okay.
flip it on and
The
off.
technical difficulties.
Nah, sometimes it's just I gotta
No
tweak it.
worries. No
Um,
worries.
but you've got so many more things that you've been doing. You've When you talked to me a long time ago, you said, Jimmy, man, you ain't seen nothing yet. You were just starting to do some of these things, and you just have been executing to a plan. Not everything worked. Okay, let's be real. You don't become successful, right, by just going out there and doing everything and expecting it all to work. You're going to learn lessons along the way, and you've learned a lot. And you even now have created a website. We'll get into that in a moment. A website called Cigar Wealth. So talk to me a little bit about Cigar Wealth, and I'll pop it up and I'll show people. We'll kind of walk the show a little bit that way. What is that
Well,
all about?
well, going back to what you mentioned about learning, not everything works out in business. That's why it's called entrepreneurship. You give it a shit, you roll the dice. If all businesses worked out, we'd all be very, very rich in this world. So with Cigar Wealth, I wanted to bring something different to the cigar industry in regards to wealth of knowledge, wealth of mistakes, a wealth of failures and experiences, and put it all in a website and make it available for us. Keep in mind, there wasn't too many of us that we can reach out to in the industry to say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing this, but I'm not sure. I like to have some type of mentorship. Now there is. Now we can reach out. Now we can ask this. Now we can ask or go here as a reference. And that's what I want a Cigar Wealth to be, a wealth of knowledge. So listen, if you're trying to launch your cigar brand, you may want to go to Cigar Wealth. If you're trying to open up a lounge, you may want to go to Cigar Wealth. If you're trying to figure out your finances, especially with cigars, you may want to go to Cigar Wealth. So it's a wealth of knowledge that I made available to the cigar industry, and hence the book, Cigar Wealth, the book available on Amazon as well. So I want people to do well. I want people to avoid the hurdles and the mistakes that I've made in the industry over the years. And I'm still making mistakes. Don't get me wrong. That's just the process and the journey of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, you do things in business. You take a shot at something, even if it's within a single line, single brand. You try something new to advance it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Sure.
I took the shot to create this show 5 years ago. It's been successful. It's people tuning into it. I have fun. The guests have fun. But I started something last year where I was going to create a cigar trivia game show. I have it all in a can. It's ready to rock and roll, right? I had brands lining up that were going to sponsor me, provide swag, provide gifts, provide things, right? But what I didn't calculate, which is my failure, and it's something I'm going to retrench and rethink through and how I'm going to handle it, is getting contestants. I thought that would be easy. It ended up becoming the hardest thing to do because I didn't realize that people really don't want to be on a show and showing that they don't know something.
Isn't that something? Especially cigar related, right?
Right. So I'm in the process of rethinking that whole thing out. I took a break from it. I kind of got you get a little depressed when that happens, you just kind of go, you put so much into it, and then it's like,
And you would
how do
think
I?
you have this floodgate of people knocking down your door. Jimmy, put me in, put me in, put me
Mhm.
in. And now it's like, wait a minute.
Right.
Now I
So,
got a question.
so you learn, right? You learn, like you said. Now I'm going to pop up real quick for the viewers. I don't know if you'll see it if your brother's watching this on the phone or not, but I'm going to just share the website Cigar Wealth for everybody.
There
So
it is.
if you go to this page, it's called cigarwealth.com. What a
Yep.
great name. I don't know how you were able to get that domain because you would think that would have already been taken, but congratulations. Did you get that for $7.95 like I got Stogie Press? Was that like readily available?
It was. It
That's
was.
hilarious. Imagine that. And on here you have a few things. Okay, so you can access. You have like the first thing you see when you come in here is sign up for a free business master class today. And then there's some things on top where you can go. We'll talk about these in a moment about Black Smoke Magazine, Cigar
Yep.
Education, Cigar Wealth book, right? So
Yep.
what happens when somebody signs up? Well, what is this master class all about?
Well, the masterclass is an introduction to business for entrepreneurship. And I talk about some of the foundations that you need in entrepreneurship. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people think, well, I'm just going to jump into not just a cigar business, but any business for that matter. There's a lot of things you want to make sure you have foundationally when it comes to business. Case in point, going back to what we just mentioned about the Cigar Wealth, the domain name, readily available. People aren't doing their research. They think that they have a Facebook page named after this company that they're going to be just fine. No, you want the .com. So I have this beautiful checklist, and I show people how to navigate through it to grow their business. And I offer as a free class just for signing up on the email list.
All right, so that does two things for you. One, you get interest. Two, you got emails to communicate with them about other additional things that you can provide for them, right? You have like there are three buttons on here, and I'll share this one more time. I'm going to go back and forth on the sharing as we walk through it. So if I share this again, so you've got a cigar education and mentorship, you got business credit and personal credit, and you've got the elite conference group. So maybe we touched on the first one so far.
Yeah. So when it comes to personal credit and business credit, one of the worst things you can do, and it's what I did, so I understand this wholeheartedly, is to spend your own money opening up your business. Not understanding credit, not knowing how the credit is available and the impact of credit both on personal and business. And you want to find information from someone who is, one, experienced in it, and two, certified. Like a lot of people don't know, I'm a board certified credit specialist. It's not something that I promote, but I am a national board certified credit specialist. So I help people out to avoid the pitfalls of credit mishaps. So whether it's a cigar business, any business for that matter, I encourage people, listen, let's focus on your credit so you don't take money out of your personal account like I did, because you can't get that back. Once you spend it, you can't get that back. Whereas with business credit and personal credit, that's revolving funds, and it builds your relationship with your financial institution. But if you don't know that, you're going to make the same mistakes that I did.
Okay.
Both on the personal side and both personal and business. So I don't want people to go through that. I really don't want anyone to experience the hurricane, the nightmare that I went through. And what do? We share our experiences. We share them so people don't have to go through them, and we want them to do well. So that's what I did.
And then the last one is the Elite Conference Group.
All right, so that one is a conference that I'm going to be putting together for people who just want to learn more. I'm going to actually change the name to Cigars and Credit, because that's what we're going to be talking about, cigars and credit. So once again, whether it's we got people that we know that got into the cigar game or trying to get into the cigar game, and they're using their personal money.
No.
Let me show you how to utilize your credit. Build your credit, repair your credit, improve your credit. That's what's most important.
So
Not
you
the
got
cigar
somebody with an
name.
8. So you got somebody with an 850 credit rating.
Woo.
Right? What does that do for them? What does that do for them?
Well,
The
it does
best
show,
credit in the world.
Yeah, it does show that they are credit worthy for sure. You got an 850, you did something right, and you're doing something right. It represents so many things: credit worthiness, financial savviness, responsibility, accountability. It represents all of that in the eyes of the institutions, the financial institutions.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
you can
walking into a bank with that kind of a credit rating,
oh yeah, you're wide open
to get a business loan.
Yeah,
Don't they ask for collateral also?
It depends
Skin in the game.
It depends on what you're trying to do. Now, mind you, with your 850 instead of your business credit, because you can't build business credit without personal credit. That's hands down. There's no way you're going to build business credit without personal credit. So with the 850, I would literally get a personal loan and transition that into building the business, establishing the business to where it can stand on its own 2 feet. And now you're establishing your business credit. Then and only then can you separate the two.
Okay. Now this is explained in the masterclass, or is there additional things that you have to? That's all in that free masterclass.
Correct. I cover all of that. I cover all of that in pretty much your basic fundamentals. Now, when it goes to in-depth detail, case in point, in the master class, that's where I tell you what bank are you with and why you should leave that bank or join this bank. Most people don't know they're with the wrong bank. You're with the wrong financial institution. That's why things haven't worked out for you. I had to learn that myself. I've been with Bank of America for over, my goodness, almost.
I've been with Bank of America since I was probably 21 years old. As long as it's been around, it's forever.
And one of the happiest days for me was when I walked into Bank of America and I canceled my account. I was like, close everything. Just close it. There's nothing here. There's nothing for me. Right. Those are business banks. And if your business is not generating over $100,000 or more, we have no business with those type of banks. We need to be a part of credit unions. Credit unions, that's where the treasure is. Credit union. But once again, we don't know what we don't know. I don't touch ATMs. I don't go near ATMs. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. So things of that nature, I want to make sure that we're in a good position as business owners, because what we do as a business affects our family.
Yeah, absolutely. And our
You know,
extended family.
exactly. So you want to protect that as much as possible. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is you have to increase your knowledge.
So if I go from the master class and let's switch over, I'm going to share the screen again. We're going to switch over to the book. All right. So this is the book called Cigar Wealth. You can get this on Amazon. You click the tab at the top of Cigar Wealth webpage, and you can say, go to the Cigar Wealth book. That opens up this page that everybody's looking at. There's an order book or order an ebook. And this is saying you're going to learn. So this is going to go deeper now, I imagine, right?
Yeah, you're going to, yes, yes.
Okay. So what is the depth that this is going to go into that I imagine when I take the master class, I got a bunch of questions and this book's answering it?
The book is an additional resource. So the book is more also on the personal level, on the individual themselves, what you should be doing with your time. I talk about in the book, for example, of course, your business credit and your personal credit. I highlight that, but in the book itself, it's more responsibility and accountability or on you, the brand itself.
Okay.
Now, because there's layers to it. Once you establish you, the brand itself, you need to develop that financially. Financially, on the in the book itself, I cover a lot of what you want to do on a personal side, meaning what do you do with your personal time? Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing that's going to help build your business? Because once again, everything you do for your business affects your family. So you have to ask yourself on the personal side, what am I going to do today? Where am I going today? And when you get home, what did I do today that's going to help build my business or help my family? Whether it's decompressing like I did today, getting away for a little bit and just decompressing and resetting my mind. In the book, I tell you, find your happy place. Disconnect for a little bit. You need a reset. That's why it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday all over again. It's called a reset. So in the book, I talk about more personal development than business development.
Now, how long did it take you to write this book?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. And it's based on your 10 years of knowledge or more?
Yes, it's a accumulation of my experiences in the cigar industry. It's also a accumulation of experiences of others in the industry. Case in point, I've learned from, and we can all attest to this. We've learned from the greatest of the greats in the cigar in the cigar business. The Padrones, the AJs, the Perdermos, the Fuentes, go down the list. I have taken what they have taught me and put that inside the book to develop personally. Case in point, when you walk into, like here in Miami, obviously I can walk into Perdermo's office, which I normally do almost every day. The entire family's there. The entire family working for everybody. Everybody's a Perdermo. Ken, with the exception of Ken, he's probably watching this laughing. But my point is, how can we do that for ourselves? How can we have everyone in our family or a majority of our employees with the same last names or an extension of our family work for the greater good of growing this business? Because it affects all of us. So I learned that from the cigar industry, like, wow, you go into AJ, everybody's a relative of AJ. You go into Perdermo, everybody's a relative of Perdermo. You go into my father, everybody's a relative of my father. What if we took that same strategy and try to implement it in our own business? So I learned from that. Do what the cigar industry has done. At least attempt to do what the cigar industry has done and growing the family business.
Yeah. Now, the other thing you have on the site is something that you put out a couple of years ago. I remember when you launched it, we were in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe at a Cigar Mike event, and you launched Black Smoke Magazine.
Yes.
Okay? So let me open up Black Smoke magazine for a second, and I'll share this. Um, so Black Smoke magazine, you have now what, 4 issues of this?
Yes.
The latest one is featuring our good friend Hollywood, Calvin Jenkins,
Yes. Yes.
on the cover. And what is the idea behind Black Smoke magazine for the consumer? What are they going to get out of your magazine that they don't get out of, say, Cigar Journal, Cigar Aficionado, Cigar Snob?
Awareness. Awareness that, yes, there are people of color who are making some waves in the cigar business. They just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting the recognition. I mean, truth be told, they, like it just wasn't happening. So I see a cover of Michael Jordan on a magazine. I can't relate with Michael Jordan. I'm not a multi-billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute. I know I know a lot of people who are doing extremely well. And as far as impacting, building, educating the cigar business as people of color, but they're not getting the recognition they deserve. So I decided to take a leap of faith and do it myself. So that's the
Now,
whole premise, awareness.
you've got 4 volumes. So obviously these are not coming out every quarter, every month. How often do these actually come out now?
Now they're coming out every quarter.
So the plan is every quarter these are going to come out. And what is a subscription to Black Smoke magazine cost?
I haven't done a subscription as of yet, but it
Okay.
will be in the ballpark of right $9.
Okay. So if somebody wants to go in here and read this, they have to pay a price to read it, or is it free to go to?
Well, they can go to the website and it will be shipped to them. A physical copy will be shipped to them.
Okay. And that's like $9.
Yeah.
Now I remember when you came out with, I haven't seen the other 3, but I remember the first one was a little thin. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. Content was focused on Christine and not a lot of other things, obviously ads and things in there. Where is it today? Have you increased the content in this quarterly? Where there's going to be a lot more articles and discussions and weaving this whole cigar wealth concept into it?
Yes. Yes. Case in point, adding more a financial column, a fashion column, an educational column, a business column, a culinary column, a beverage column. And all of these things take time. Launching the magazine, like anything, going back to what you mentioned earlier, we have a good idea, we put it on the whiteboard and we're ready to launch it. And you're reaching out to the people and you're like, wait a minute, why are they not jumping on this? Maybe they weren't ready for that type of exposure. They weren't ready for that massive national attention, that wow effect. So I had some difficulty. I'm like, hey guys, listen, I need a columnist. I need somebody to talk about health. I need someone to focus on the beverage aspect, not just an ad, not just an ad page. We're talking about writing.
Right.
Writing. That's a challenge. That's a
Have you
challenge. Yeah.
you've done an interview with, as I have also, with Cigar Life guy. Do you have him on board to write a column about life insurance? Not so much of an advertisement, obviously a product twist into that in some manner, but where he talks maybe in a quarterly magazine about this and not be repetitive all the time?
Yes, yes. Dave is such a great guy and such a wealth of knowledge in his respective field, and he's been able to merge that with the world of cigars when it comes to what we all need, life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I have had that conversation with him in regards to him being a contributor, having his own column in regards to life insurance, because there's so many things you can talk about when it comes to life insurance. So yes, having him on there is a great added value for sure.
Okay.
Now it's finding others. Now it's finding others to say, listen, not only do I want a bourbon page, but I want to talk about bourbon. I want you to talk about bourbon. Talk about pairing. I'm looking for a pairing situation, not send me an image of your beverage and call it a day.
Right. Yeah.
Where's the pairing? So it looks like
where and why and what are
right,
the
break
notes
all of that
and
down.
Mhm.
And what happens is, well, I call you out on it. I'm like, all right, you said you do this, so hey, let's make it happen. And the knowledge base is not there. I'm like, well, you told me this is what you do. You say you do pairings or you do whiskeys or you do whatever it is. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to showcase you. I'm ready to feature you. So once again, it's a challenge. It takes time for those people to come through, especially consistently and to creatively to say, okay, I don't want to be repetitive about what I had said in the last magazine. Now this new magazine is going to be this. Even with sports, case in point, I love to have you on there. Talk about Boston. Let's get.
I don't know if I want to talk about Boston right now. We have 26 games left of the season, and we're kind of like slagging behind in the wild card. We're not even in the wild card right now. I looked at the schedule, and I'm just like, I'm not throwing my hat away yet for the
Okay,
season. Baseball is my jam until the Red Sox are no longer in the hunt, and then I switch wholeheartedly into the football season. But today, obviously, had to be part of the football season because my kid went to the U, and all my money went to the U, and I'm invested in the U,
there
so
you
I
go.
have to wear the U.
There you go.
um, so then the other thing that you do, I think we talked briefly before we started the show, is one of the big things you were doing for a while was what was called Black Smoke Miami, right? Which was this event that grew year over year as you did it. And it wasn't focused for just black cigar smokers. It was for everybody. All right. I want to make that clear to everybody. All right. You made that clear. There's some people didn't believe that, but I showed what it was like in numerous articles. Um, I haven't seen one last year. Are you doing another one?
The upcoming one is probably going to be the last one. 9 times out of 10 is going to be the last one, and I'll tell you why. I've reached my goal. I reached my goal, and sometimes what we don't understand is that when you reach your goal, you reach your goal. You don't need to do anything else in that aspect. You've reached your goal. So my goal was to create a platform and encourage other platforms to be created off of that. And that's happening. Now we got cigar weeks all over the United States.
Right.
I've done my job. I now get to focus on other things, like my new project that's coming out. Black Smoke Miami takes a lot of time. And it's getting more and more and more difficult when you're looking for venues that can house large amounts of people. And then you're constantly dealing with the elements outside. It's too high, the rain. There's a lot of moving parts that are out of your hands. And every year for Black Smoke, let me tell you, this is what did it for me last year. Every year, I have fire rescue trying to stick a needle in my arm because of hypertension, blood pressure, stress. I passed out a few times. It's just too much. And this one was really scary. I missed 2 days of it. I missed 2 days of Black Smoke. And I got I got fire rescue all over me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And I imagine it is stressful. I've thought, I personally have thought about that over the years of creating a cigar event here on the Space Coast of Florida, right? Have the Space Coast Cigar Festival. What a great thing. And there's so many days when there's launches going up, you can almost look at the schedule and try to figure it out. Maybe you catch a launch, maybe you don't. But to have that, but the planning that goes into that, the time, the energy, you got to be laser focused on that stuff. All right. Getting everybody on board, getting the brands on board. Okay. Aligning with certain shops to bring them on board. It's a full-time job, I imagine, just to pull that off. And then you just got to hope that people show up and buy tickets.
and the money. You got to put up a lot of money to put on a production of that magnitude.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Absolutely.
just,
So
it just took too much out of me. And I realized, like I've done my job. I did my job. I did what I was supposed to do. I built a platform that inspired other platforms.
yes, you
No
have.
matter what, no matter what week is out there, whatever they want to call it, there's a sprinkle of black smoke in every single week from Miami to Alaska. There's a sprinkle of black smoke because no one was doing it prior to 2017. Nobody can argue that. That's a fact. Nobody was doing it. Now there's festivals all over the United States, and which I love to see, and some of them I was blessed to attend. I've done my job, and I got
Yeah,
other projects I want to work on.
there is a there is a boatload of festivals, and it's got to be even harder these days because to pick a weekend, you look at it like, well, they're doing it that weekend, or that person's doing it that weekend, and before you know it, it's like, when do I get a weekend to actually do it? That's not conflicting with all these other ones that maybe are getting the bigger draw and more established. So it's almost saturated, I would say, at this point.
I agree. I totally agree with it.
So
I totally agree.
I think the train has left the station, and bless those that are doing it, because we love them. We go to them. We enjoy them. The camaraderie is second to none in all of these festivals. Everybody has a great time, smoking cigars and getting away, even if it's a vacation to. It doesn't even have to be to Florida, man. You go up to Indiana. You
Sure.
go to California. I've been to festivals there. And it's a getaway. I'm going to take a vacation, but I'm going to do it for business.
There we go. There we go.
So we're
Yeah, man.
going
Done
to
my
take the
job.
second break. We're going to take the second break, and when we come back, we're going to do the big reveal. Okay, folks. So stay tuned. There's a big reveal coming. So everything you've heard to this point is what TK has already done, has already launched, and it's already there for your consumption. But what you're about to see is brand new and exclusive on Taking It to the Nub tonight. So with
Yes. Yes.
that, let me go do one more share of our sponsors, and then we'll come right back to TK.
You got it, my brother.
From the valleys in Honduras to the heart of Louisiana, where excellence thrives, two legacies come together to harvest a new tradition. For many years, Honduras has been a symbol of quality and hard work, inspiring many achievements. At Bocock Brothers, we craft cigars that embody passion and precision, rooted in a commitment to excellence. From the tobacco leaves in the fields to crafting the cigars in the factory, we celebrate our partnership with LSU. Introducing the LSU Commemorative Cigar Collection. Each cigar a tribute to the spirit of excellence that defines both. Join us in this celebration, a symbol of pride, a mark of distinction, a taste of history, crafting excellence together.
And today's show is brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova is a family owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar. This results in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for that exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You could check them out at Platinum Nova Cigars, www.novacigar.com, and on their Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter channels. And today's show is brought to you by All Saints Cigars, a company founded in 2019 and headed up by industry veteran Mickey Pegg and his two friends, Martin Corboy, a successful restaurateur, and Frank Leo, an Air Force Academy graduate military veteran. As Mickey explains it, they were all sitting down, talking and smoking cigars, and finally they decided that they would do this thing together. It was time. Mickey said, I decided if I'm going to work hard at it, it should be something I love. Besides, a tough day with a cigar is better than a great day doing anything else. Soon after, they began the process of launching All Saints cigars, jokingly referring to themselves as the Holy Trinity, St. Michael, St. Martin, and St. Francis. They chose for their logo the cross of St. James, the patron saint of Nicaragua, the country where their cigars would be produced. You can check out All Saints Cigars at www.allsaintscigars.com.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Hey, TK, are you ready?
Let's do it, brother. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me just tee this up so I have it for everybody to see. All right. And we'll start with the fact that how many people out there want their own personalized cigar? Now, what we mean by that is not just, it's not a band that's going to personalize it, but it's going to be the following. Boom. Here we go. Come on, share. Boom. This, I'll let TK run through this, but what am I looking at, TK? And what is the audience looking at right here?
All right. Before we get into that, I got to give a big shout out to my brother Alonzo. He gave me my first cigar, so he's the reason all of this is happening.
Okay.
All right. So listen, what you see in front of you is a game changer in the cigar business. Total game changer. I wanted to do something so out of the box, so unexpected, and that's what people expect from me, to do something different. This is a laser engraved cigar. Laser engraved, customized, personalized, laser engraved cigar. It is a Connecticut blend that I use simply because the wording pops out better. I tried on a Habano, tried on a Maduro. Obviously, the wording was too dark. So I use a great Connecticut blend out of Nicaragua. So people can do two things with this thing. One, smoke it if they would like. And then two, keep it as a gift or send it as a gift. I've been working on this project for almost 2 years now, and I screwed up a lot of cigars with the laser. I screwed up a lot
Were
of
they
cigars.
still smokable or they were unsmokable?
Yes. No, they are absolutely smokable. Yes, you can actually smoke these. Yes. So I wanted to do something totally different. It comes in a glass tube. It comes with tobacco leaves at the foot, and it comes with it closed off with a cork at the foot as well.
What is the purpose
totally
of the
different.
tobacco leaf in the foot?
Totally different.
What's the purpose of the tobacco leaf on the foot in the tube?
Well, for one, decor looks amazing. And two, tobacco. Tobacco. What better product to put together with tobacco than tobacco? I was trying to fill out that gap. I had a little bit of gap because I was using a 6x54, and a glass tube was a little longer. I'm like, what can I put in here? I'm like, wait a minute, tobacco leaves. It's the perfect stuffer. So that's what I use.
Does it help with keeping the humidification?
It does. Actually, it does. It's tobacco leaves. And what I believe is, remember, tobacco is always alive. Tobacco is always alive. And I remember when I was in Nicaragua, I was taught that even in the fermentation process, that tobacco needs to be comfortable. It needs to be in an environment where it can relate. That's when I came up with tobacco leaves at the foot. I'm like, I want this thing to relate with itself. You're comfortable. You have a cushion. You have tobacco right there. I'm supporting you.
Okay.
And it worked out. that great, especially when you open up the glass tube and you can smell it. Oh man, it gives you remnants of the Pilon barns and the tobacco fields. It is a great situation, and a lot of people have never actually even touched a tobacco leaf on its own. So I wanted to incorporate all of those things in this process. Yeah, it's a total game changer. I mean, I've done personalized laser engraved cigars for sporting events, weddings, birthday parties. Um, Unfortunately, passed away. Um, like there's nothing I can for it's available for any occasion. So can you
Right. So
imagine? Hell, I did. Marry me. Marry me. I put "marry me" on a cigar with a question mark, and it, apparently you have the fiance and well.
so I put the picture back up again.
Yeah,
And when I look at this, so we got a glass tube. So the laser engraving, just so everybody to understand, is on the cigar itself. It is not on the glass tube. And it could say anything you want. Right now, he's got these saying Miami because that's his branding. But you could put anything you want on that, right? I have a son who's getting married in May. If I wanted to get something, Dominic and Malia, 2024, 25, whatever, I can have that engraved. Does it matter how many letters? Does it matter how big it is? Is there a charge for the amount of font, a type of font, or anything like that?
there's not an additional charge for the font. I allow up to 15 characters for clarity. So 15 characters is going to be the most I can do to maintain clarity using a laser on such a delicate surface.
Okay. And the perfection of this, like you said, without burning through the wrapper, right? So when
Yep.
I get down to the point of the laser engraving, does the cigar perform any different at that point? Does it fray a little more?
If it does, that means I went a little bit too deep with the power, the heat of the laser. So, like I said, I've screwed up a lot of cigars trying to master this technique, and it has gotten to the point where now it's workable. Now you can smoke it straight through, and it won't frail on you. But if it does, that's on my part.
Now, what does
People have smoked,
what's a
people have smoked
minimum
this straight
order?
through
What's a minimum order
one
for
stick,
this?
one cigar.
One.
Yeah, one
So how's your
cigar.
so
You go
how's
to
your
my website.
pricing work?
It's $30 a stick, so $29.95, and it comes with its own gift box and personalized cigar engraving on it. When it comes to the lounges, I have a wholesale. Obviously, you have to be a licensed retailer. So there are lounges out there that want their very own private label, but they're having difficulty with boxes. They're having difficulty with cigars. They're having difficulty with packaging, and they're having difficulty with time trying to put all this stuff together. Whereas I already took care of all of those problems with my packaging. So any lounge out there, any organization, any retailer that wanted to have their own personalized cigar, I have literally solved all of your problems with this packaging.
So if somebody wanted to buy 200 of these, where's the
Then we would
price
have to
go
work that
to?
out, right? Right. We would have to work that out depending on what it is, depending on where it's being shipped to, depending on how it's going to be shipped. Maybe it doesn't need to be shipped. Maybe it's something local that can be delivered or picked up. So that would be on a case by case scenario,
Okay. All right.
especially for an order of that magnitude. But in its business sense, traditional sense, people go to the website, tkcigars.com, they place the order, and it ships out in 3 days.
Now, I have a cigar that I got back in 2008 from Francisco Monte, I believe. He makes the baseball bat cigars. And he made one for the Chicago Cubs winning the World Series, right? They had a little he put a little applique on there, a C on there, and it came in a nice little case, Chicago Cubs 2008, memorabilia kind of thing. And it sits in my humidor. I'm never going to smoke that. Do you envision people smoking these, or do you see this as more something they're just gonna always have? Maybe put it on a shelf, or put it, display it. I mean, what do people do with these?
The majority of my clients use them as displays. They use them as keepsakes. They put them on the mantle for a special occasion. Yeah,
Okay.
majority of my clients, yeah, they just leave it in the case. They love the packaging. And some of them actually order two because they want to keep one for themselves and actually smoke it themselves.
Okay. Now, how would you rate the cigar itself as a product
It's a
individual?
mild cigar. It is a premium blend. It is a long filler cigar, and it is a Connecticut blend. So for those who enjoy a good mild Connecticut, and you don't mind smoking something that you just paid for as a gift, might as well treat yourself and smoke your own blend. I had a client, he ordered 4 with his name on it, and he just wanted his name on it. He just wanted to treat himself, and he showed a few people, and people listen. People have their own reasons for doing whatever they do. He posted it, brought it to the lounge. They're like, okay, you're special. You got your own name on a cigar, and he smoked them. He smoked them, and he enjoyed it. So it worked out.
Can we envision Black Smoke Miami 2025 having one of these in swag pack
That
as
would be
part of
for
the
the
admission?
VIPs. That would be
VI.
for the VIP, yeah.
Okay.
And that would be a
Okay.
special order, right?
I kind of say Black Smoke 2025 on it, and
You better believe
that
it.
would be
What do you want yours
that'll
to
be the
say?
last. My, I got stuff that's branded every which way to Sunday, from Boston Jimmy to Stogie Press, taking it to the nub. I mean, I had all kinds of crazy stuff branded that people have given me. Man, I have a friend of mine here that I'll just show you this here for a second. There it go. Here it is. So a friend of mine here, local brother relief, who makes the cigar band art. And actually I got a cigar band art of portrait of me that he made for me. But he's a cabinet maker, a woodworker. So he made this cool thing.
All right.
All right. And what this is, I open this up and here, just hold this here. It's got a cutter in it.
Wow, look at that.
I think it was my retirement gift he gave me when I retired. So
Very
I don't
nice.
use it. I just have it. It's one of these things, people give me these interesting things, and I love the fact that they do that. And I just give him all my cigar bands. So he makes more cigar band art, which he's quite incredible with. LA Band Works, it's called. So he does excellent
Pretty cool.
work with that.
That's pretty cool.
So
That's really
so
cool.
this is your new thing. All right.
Yeah.
They're available now.
Yeah, tkcigars.com.
Okay. Well, if I open up tkcigars.com, let me go there. Because you have a couple of sites. So one is Cigar Wealth, the other one is tkcigars.com.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just pop that open. So tkcigars.com. So here you've got, so this is where you also sell cigars. You got TK cigars in here. You still selling your TK cigars, or you coming out with new cigars? There's nothing on there yet.
Not yet.
Okay. So this is where you can order these. Okay. And
Yeah.
you just select right here. Here's some happy clients. Oh, you get fraternities and sororities. Great idea.
There we go.
Little I love yous. That's cool. Retired. There you go.
There we go.
That's the one I need. Retired, right? Army. Go Browns. Navy, I guess. Marines. Hoorah. So yeah. So simplify whatever you want on these would be very cool. And if you click the order now button, there you go. You can go in $29.95. You put in what you want. Okay. And then I guess if you want to order more, you contact TK and he will help you with the pricing
That's
if
right.
you want to order more than just one. So
That's right.
fantastic idea. I,
Thank,
I,
thank
I mean, nobody's doing this that I know of. And take the time again, you like we said in the beginning of the show, the lessons you learn. Destroying some cigars is sacrilegious, but that's okay. So long as you're able to still smoke them after you destroyed it.
you. Yes, all right.
All right. So we're coming up on the hour. Um, what didn't I cover? You're still doing Stogie TV, right?
Yes, the YouTube channel Stogie TV is still rock and rolling heavy.
Okay. How many subscribers you have on that now?
Well, I think just shy of 10,000.
Hmm, that's reputable.
Yeah, just shy of 10,000. And a
And
lot of interaction. I try to comment on everyone else who comments or makes a like or whatever it is on the reactions of the video. So yeah, that's coming out. The bundles. If you go to tkcigars.com, the bundles. I get countless calls about bundles. People want bundles. Well,
okay,
I have bundles on the
but
website as well. So that's another one I'm going to be launching is the bundles.
yeah, I'm trying to get that to load. There it is.
Yeah.
So it keeps dropping off for me for some reason. It like flashes. You might want to check that.
Or
It flashes and throws me a white page.
meanwhile, I'll try to refresh the browser.
I did. That's what I'm doing. Keeps coming up with a white page. Check that. Talk to your IT guy. Might be a glitch in there. So we're
Got it. As
live.
soon as I
This
get
is what it
off
this,
this road.
this is what happens with live shows.
When you're doing too much.
So tell me about I can't show it, but tell me what is it about bundles? So what are you selling on there?
Bundles. Like I said, I have phenomenal relationships with countless manufacturers in both Nicaragua and Dominican Republic, and they have an overrun. They have an overrun that I have access to, and people want quality. Well, going back into the finances that we talked about earlier, not everybody can afford a $14 cigar every day or every week. And not to mention, when you have certain people who want to attempt to smoke a cigar and you don't want to use your personal stash, you may want to give them something, like a house stick. So I have access to these manufacturers, and I was able to close a deal where I get them from overseas and I'm able to retail them. And so now you're able to get great quality. And we're talking about seconds here. We're talking about the ones that didn't make the cut because of a glitch in the color or maybe a scratch in the tobacco. But you still getting the same great quality just without the bands on it. So
Right.
I got access to all of these great cigars. So imagine having, let's just say, an AJ Fernandez New World, for example, without the label. But now instead of paying full price, you get to pay just about $3, if not $2.50 a stick.
Wow. Wow.
In a bundle pack. Right?
There you
Game
go.
changers. And now purchase, especially if it's smoke like that, you just have some cigars on the side. Or we're coming from Key West right now. We're on the road and we need cigars to burn. I'm not gonna hold the when it's thrown outside window over the 7 Mile bridge.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just
right.
Exactly.
So I'd rather have a bundle cigar. I saved a lot of money on it, and I was able to get still great quality out of it. But it's something that you use as a burner. These are burner cigars.
So you're getting good traction on that right now?
I'm sorry?
Are you getting good traction on that?
Oh, you got exclusive. I haven't even launched it yet. That's exclusive. I just announced it.
There you go. Another exclusive. So cigar bundles. Yeah, you gotta start making some pages and stuff. We put it out there, let people see what's going on. So yeah, so if you want to get something like that, you go on to tkcigars.com and you can get those. Are you working on anything premium like you did the last time, because you had a killer cigar the last time. What are
Thank
you
you.
doing in that world?
I am speaking with 3 manufacturers as we speak to decide where I'm going to move forward with in 2025, who I'm select as my manufacturer and what region and when we're going to launch the brand. So
Okay.
2025, and if I need to take a little bit more time, I'm okay with waiting till 2026 to do it properly because I don't want to take any shortcuts.
Oh, of course not. Never should. Time is quality in this business, without
Yes,
a doubt.
absolutely.
You know, do it right. Do it right the first time. Don't launch something everybody's like, nah, because you don't get a second chance.
That's right.
You know, people remember.
Dang well.
Did we touch everything in the TK cigar world?
Yeah, we did for now.
All right, so you went down to Key West. You didn't do any fishing. Did you bounce around the bars?
Went to 2 bars, had a Guinness because that's my favorite beer, and I just disconnected. That's all it was. With all of these things I got going on, and which is a lot, I just had to reset, disconnect, and I encourage a lot of people. Hell, I encourage anyone disconnect every now and then. Go reset because your mental health is at risk. Your mental health, your personal health, all of it's at risk when you are stressed out. Go disconnect. Go get away. So when Alonzo, my brother, called me and said, "Hey, listen, man, tomorrow we're going to the Keys. Done. Done. Boom. All right. Perfect. Get in the car. Let's go. We're gone."
Did you
Total,
stay
total
overnight
disconnect.
there? Did you stay
No, we're actually on
overnight?
the road back. No, we
So
left
you
at 8
just
o'clock this
drove down
morning.
and drove back. Okay.
Yep. 8 o'clock this morning, 1-day trip. Come right back, refocus, get back to it.
Did you get a little something to eat down there in a nice restaurant?
Of course, had some nice conch fritters.
Where'd you go?
What was the name of that spot? Kaya, Kaya, Kaya restaurant. Really cool. They showed the game. We were able to catch a little bit of the game.
Is that
The
on
12 o'clock.
Duval? Was that on Duval Street?
Yes.
Because they keep changing. I know the restaurants come and go all the time down there,
Yeah.
but I have some favorites that even those have closed over the years. But
Yeah.
always get
There's
good food in Key West.
oh yeah, always, always. Yeah, especially the seafood. Seafood is great. And of course, you enjoying the sights, relaxation. There's a few things you want to see, and there's a few things you don't want to see in Key West. You know?
So long as you go, you get you got to hit the different districts along Duval,
Oh yeah.
right? You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you can walk into the wrong district and it's like fun. You know what I love going to? You know what I love walking around is behind the Bahamian Village. That has evolved so well over the years. Now I haven't been down there in about 4 years.
We got to check that one out. I don't think we were able to get to that one.
That's behind Duval. Okay. It's
Oh,
off. Okay. So it's the next street over, and it's not too far from the old the little White House. All right.
okay.
It's up the street from there. It's a whole area. It's the Bahamian Village. It's all these old conch houses and stuff, all different colors and things. And years ago it was kind of run down, but it's come back up. They're now they're beginning to have more restaurants in there, and it's becoming more touristy for people. It's Key West. Everything's touristy, right? So yeah, I got to get down there. I've been telling my wife we got to take a trip down. They got to go see my friend Danny from Rodriguez Cigars again,
Sure.
because it's such a fabulous place to just hang out, even for like a 2 or 3 days. I mean, it's super expensive to stay there, but
Yeah.
you don't need to stay on Duval, right? You could stay on the engine. You could stay in Stock Island for
Sure.
cheaper and just go across the bridge. I mean, the only thing's it's only 6 square miles, the whole island, and it's like 267 bars the last time I counted in restaurants. You know, but there's a fabulous place actually. The place I like to go out and really find food is a place called Louis' Backyard. Louis' Backyard is in over near Smathers Beach area.
All
Okay,
right.
and it's where the hotel used to be the Casa Marina. I don't think it's the Casa Marina anymore. There's a big Marriott there.
All
Very
right.
old hotel, and it's right across from that intersection, and it's such a phenomenal place. Sits right outside, looking at the water. You know, you don't get the sunsets, okay, like you get on Mallory Pier, but you get great food, phenomenal food.
Yeah.
All right.
And great energy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that was my day. That's exactly, you just described my whole entire day today. Yeah.
No accidents going down and back. You didn't get any stoppages along the overseas highway.
No, unfortunately, as we're driving back, it started to rain.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we figured it was just best to just go ahead and try to get back as soon as possible.
Yeah, because I took a trip there years ago, and I remember there was when you get an accident on that on US one going through the Keys, it just stops. Nobody moves, right? And it was in the heat of the summer like it is now, and we kind of the family, we all got out of the vehicle for a while just to hang out, and we just got eaten by mosquitoes, and like we jumped
Oh,
back in the car and the mosquitoes were all in the car. It was like
oh,
that was a bad idea. you know? But yeah, I always hated that whenever there was an accident, and that's happened more than once with me. But people are crazy down there. They don't know how to drive through the Keys.
yeah, you got to be
It's
very mindful. Sure, for sure.
you be mindful and just you're in no rush. You're in the Florida Keys, man. Just you put your flip flops on, your shorts, and your flowered shirt or whatever, and you just put on some music and you just relax, smoke a cigar, and
That's
everybody's
it. Live
happy.
life.
You know.
Live life. That's it.
Um, you doing anything else other than everything we talked about? So that was your downtime. So you reset, you came back. What are some of your other resets besides going to the Keys?
Ah, let's water, water. I need the water. Finding the water. I need water.
Okay.
I need water. That's my reset. Yeah,
You don't do any diving, do you?
yeah. Like just away from my laptop. Just disconnect because there's so many elements pulling at you. There's so many expectations of you, and when you fall short of those expectations, it's not good for the brand. It's not good for you. You start blaming yourself. You start blaming whatever it is that's out there, and it takes a toll. It takes a toll on the body. It takes a toll on the mind. It takes a toll on your health. And I disconnect and reset. That's what I do. And for my best way of doing that is just going to the water.
Yeah. Now, have you been down to Nicaragua, Dominican, anywhere like that lately?
Not lately. I start traveling again at the early start of January.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I go
Well,
right back.
that's our show, my friend. I know you're driving.
Yeah.
You're not driving, but you got your chauffeur. So that's lesson one: have a driver. I'm going to give you the last word.
I offered the drive, but he wouldn't let me.
That tells a lot. I'm going to give you the last word.
Oh man, the last word is, first of all, thank you. Thank you for creating this platform and others so that we can be recognized and showcased and appreciated for all that we do for each other in this beautiful cigar business. So a thank you to you first and foremost. So thank you for all that you do and all that you have done and the legacy that you have created. So thank you so very much. And
Appreciate that.
to the viewers, thank you for your continued support for my platform and Boston Jimmy's platform. And get ready for more. Get ready for more. It's coming.
All right, it's coming. So with that, that's our show tonight. I want to thank again, as TK said, all the viewers and the sponsors. Without them, the show is always a little harder to do. We're gonna have some more fun next week, hopefully, and I'll see you. Actually, next weekend, I probably am not going to have a show because I'm going to be down in Miami, in Weston, Florida. I'm going to be in
Okay.
Weston, Florida at the Quality Importers event. They're having a retailer event down there. We're going to be showcasing a lot of their products along with cigar brands that they're going to be working with. So I'm going to be covering that whole event next Saturday. So that's my event next Saturday. So look for some live feeds on Facebook on that as I
Sure.
cover it, and then there'll be an article afterwards talk all about what they did. So
You
with
got it.
that, that's our show, folks. I want to thank everybody for joining again, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yes,
And
indeed. Thank you so very much. Everyone, be blessed, and I wish you all massive success.